Welcome back to Diesel Moto. This is the next step in our TTR fire burned up project. The TTR was very singed. As you can see, the carburetor has lots of corrosion and heat damage on it. However, it didn't get hot enough to burn the rubber hoses, but we'll be replacing some things. But we need to clean it to make sure that there isn't water in it from the fire department, and certainly not moisture trapped in there, or that the gas crystallized in there. So if you haven't taken a TTR 125 carb down, this is how you do it. We're going to get it going. A few simple tools that you need: a decent sized Phillips screwdriver. This one here actually was burned up in our toolbox. This one was not. A standard blade to take out the main jet, and then a small standard blade here to take out the pilot jet, which is very important on these. So here we go. Remove these 4 screws here at the bottom. This is also after we've taken it off of the bike, removed the throttle slide cap, and removed the choke cap, which both unscrew. One, the throttle slide comes right out the top, and then the choke comes out the same way. A lot of people are afraid of working on these. Not so bad once you know what the different pieces do. A couple things you don't want to do when cleaning these is don't ever put high pressure air through the small passageways on these carburetors, because you can actually knock some of the brass plugs loose in the passageways when they drill the different carb bodies out. Then you end up kind of with a phantom problem that's very hard to detect. The carb will work great sometimes, and then other times it will not. And then you end up sometimes replacing it. It's the only way to get new one. These carbs are rather inexpensive now for the Chinese ones, but a genuine Yamaha carb like this is still rather expensive. So here we go. Give the float bowl a little tap. Once you have it unscrewed, remove it. You might have a little bit of fuel left in there. In this case, it does, and it actually has a little bit of debris. Don't know if that's actually from us riding or if that's from the fire, but we're going to clean all that out with some carb cleaner. I'm going to be using today Gum Out's carb and choke spray. Just something carefully to get that out. Of course, safety goggles. You have to use these when cleaning the carburetor, because it's very easy to accidentally spray a touch in your eyes and it burns. But we're going to get some of that debris out. In fact, I'm going to put this into this bowl since we'll be using so much. Hopefully you'll be able to see all right here. But we're going to clean out just what's in the bottom of the bowl. Get that out. Looks like we got most everything right there in a first shot. Now, next thing we're going to get into here is what I like to talk about, this pilot jet, the low speed jet. It's way down this small passageway right here. The slotted screw fits in there. Comes undone kind of with a little snap to it. If this is plugged up, the bike may run with the choke on, but it may not want to accelerate and bog at all. It'll totally bog. Won't run at all with the choke off. And that's the jet right there. If you're not cleaning this jet when you're cleaning this carburetor, you're actually not getting it done. Next thing we're going to take out is the main jet right here. Make sure that it and the spray bar that's attached to are clean. The O-ring's pretty smashed, but I'm not going to replace that today. I just want to make sure that as I look through these that everything is clean, and it looks like this is pretty decent. What we'll do is put a little carb cleaner right through the jet. Make sure that it's flowing nicely. Looking good there. This pilot jet we're going to take a look at. I'm looking through the center of it, and on this one right now can't see through it. That's a bad sign. What that would mean is this thing would run worth a hoot. It would run only with the choke on, and it would only run. And what I'm doing here is just kind of lining this nozzle up to try to blast through some of that. Now the excess I'm using, I'm just going to keep it soaking in there while I check out the rest. The rest of the carburetor looks pretty good here. Floats are in good shape. The needle seat, I just checked it recently. It's all right. So I'll do a little cleaning in the rest of it here, and we're all good. The heat damage on this really got to some of these pieces. I may use a little steel wool to clean some of this up so number one looks better, number two so I don't have any of that residue that'll cling to dirt and any contaminants where it'll just become a bigger problem. And then we'll reverse the procedure, put it all back together, and this thing should be a runner. Little 4/0 steel wool.